Imagine playing video games 1 minute and the next, you're driving your friends to commit a drive-by shooting. That is a reality for Ethan Rosales. He's 19, he's got no criminal record, and his dad is an engineer, but today he's facing up to 10 years in prison. The question is, was he a good kid who made a mistake, or a willing participant in a deadly attack? Let's break down this high-stakes sentencing.
This is a difficult case. And let me just tell you why it's a difficult case. I think your attorney and other people, if somebody comes to them and say, hey, we're playing video games, but come with me. We're going to go shoot up this house.
My mom has battled cancer, which was really hard. And she beat it, it's every day,
Times, well, I'm just going to say it. Some things are the cost of doing business, right? If you sell drugs, you're probably going to go to prison. You may end up getting killed. Cost of doing business.
People do that to me. Your sorry goes in this year and it goes that out that year, because I know you will continue to act the way you want to act.
I know how serious this is. I know. That's why I tried to contact.
The defense is playing their best card here. The redemption arc. Since the shooting in 2022, Ethan actually became a licensed security guard. Think about the irony. He was legally licensed to carry a firearm to protect people, while this case for discharging one was still looming over him. But here's the kicker. His co-defendants are now facing capital murder charges for a different crime. Ethan got out, but did he get out in time to save his freedom?
To 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. After viewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. All right. On this case, same thing. Do you want a PSI?
Yes, Your Honor, we do want a PSI, and we're requested it be on a Friday. My client's father, who is here today, he works during the week. The only day that he can be here is on Friday, and he's going to be a witness for us at the sentencing.
He can zoom in as a witness.
Your Honor, I believe he works in the oil field. Is that correct? So I don't think that he's able to Zoom while he's out there.
All right. Well, we can try it and see if Zoom works. If it doesn't work, then we'll figure something else out.
Okay.
Normally, Fridays are scheduled for weird trial.
Okay. I just want to make sure, Your Honor, that if we show up and he's not able to Zoom in, that he will be given an opportunity to reschedule so we can try to get him here for the sentencing. Okay.
All right. So do you want to set this on the same date as the other?
That works for now, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Ferguson, if you'll put this then on July 14th. All right. Once you sign the reset form and speak to the probation, you can leave. All right. Have a good day. Thank you.
Your Honor. Have a good weekend.
You too. You, Mr. Rosales? All right. You entered a plea of guilty on May 23rd. According to your plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 7 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine, and the state is silent on your application. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report?
We have, Judge.
Any objections to the PSI report from either side?
No, Judge.
All right. State, you are silent. Defense, do you have any witnesses?
Yes, Judge. I would like to call Tony Rosales.
All right. Could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yeah.
All right. You can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
Antonio Rosales.
All right.
And Judge, if I could, I guess, kind of give you some backstory, and I'm sure Megan will let me know if I missed any facts. So this incident took place in 2022. My client was a driver of a car. There were several other young men in the car with him with this incident who participated in this. Subsequent to that incident, my client had been, I guess, arrested, and then Mike Bellevue had represented him. That charge had been dismissed. Okay. Since that time, Ethan he got a job. He became a licensed security guard, passed his level 3, and I think had turned his life around from this incident. And then this charge came back up, and that's what brings us here today.
So I can be sure. So he became a licensed security guard, then this charge popped up.
Yes, then this subsequent charge, yes. So he had
Okay.
passed all his
This is a powerful moment. You can hear the heartbreak in his father's voice. He's a military vet and a firefighter, a man of discipline, admitting he was gone for work while Ethan was falling in with the wrong crowd. He's not making excuses. He's taking the hit for his son. But in a court of law, does a father's honesty outweigh 200 bullet holes in a house? What do you think? Should a parent's background influence a child sentence? Drop a comment below.
levels. He was licensed to carry a firearm as a security guard. He passed all the testing, all the background checks. And then I guess the case got refiled as the deadly conduct. At least two of the other juveniles in the car with him, I think subsequently have been arrested and charged with capital murder. And which is why he's here as a co-defendant on the deadly conduct charge. So obviously the boys he was with that night, and it's noted in the offense report, he after work had gone to this Nathan kid's house, and that's how he ended up being involved in this situation.
And the capital murder charge has absolutely nothing to do with this offense.
No. So I guess what I just wanted to point out to the court is, since his incident in 2022, Ethan has turned his life around, has a good, productive job. He's still working as a security guard, not carrying a firearm, but just a lower level of security guard. And the reason I wanted his dad up here is to speak to a couple things. First of all, about the changes in Ethan since then, and also about the job opportunities he's got. So may I proceed?
Yes.
So, Tony, I know you and I have had several conversations about Ethan and what happened that night. Can you tell the court what sort of attitude or behavior you've seen out of Ethan since this incident back in 2022?
Before and since this incident, I mean, that night he used very, very poor judgment. I mean, he made a very bad decision, but he acknowledges it. His family acknowledges. We all acknowledge what he did, and like I said, like you just said, you know, we all assumed it was resolved, and we can start trying to remove this from him. And he proceeded to get his commission with the state. He, in fact, the day he was arrested with the indictment, he was on his way to work. He was carrying his firearm. He was in uniform, and then everything came crashing down again. But that still hasn't stopped him. We've talked about him going to St. Philip's College for
Yeah,
CDE.
let me ask you some. Well, I have to ask informal questions. So
Okay, I'm sorry.
So, what kind of work do you do?
Oh, I'm an HSE engineer on petroleum industry.
Okay.
I've been doing that for the last decade and a half.
Okay, and so you and I have talked about Ethan's opportunities in the oil field, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you and I have discussed, and Ethan, I guess the goal is, if he gets probation, that he wants to apply to be a commercial truck driver. Correct.
Yeah, he's already set up for his SAGE program at St. Philip's College, but we have to wait to see what happens here.
Okay, and then I guess as part of that, if he's able to finish his program as a commercial truck driver, he has a lot of opportunities for work in the oil field and the oil industry, correct?
Yeah. Oh, well, as a service provider, not directly in the oil field, but as a service provider, yes.
Okay, and can you tell the court what a service provider is?
So basically, you'd be transporting materials back and forth. Depending on the outcome of this court, will be determined whether or not he can get his TWIC.
Okay, tell the court what the TWIC is.
Transportation Work Identification Card. There are federal and felony restrictions to that. It's not always 100% that he won't be able to get his TWIC, but he could always get a waiver. The thing is it will limit his opportunities to be able to get a TWIC card if he doesn't get a waiver approved. But that means he can still work with a CDL. He just won't have as much opportunities for advancement that he normally would.
But I guess what you're telling the court is Ethan has a lot of opportunities and possibilities
Oh, yeah.
facing him. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I guess I didn't see any violation reports or anything that's been filed. I guess, has Ethan been living with you since the incident?
100%. Yeah. I mean, all he does is work and come home and play on the Xbox. I mean, that's basically all he does.
Okay. So you haven't had any problems with him
No.
since then? Okay. And I guess, are you asking the court to give him an opportunity at probation?
Absolutely. I mean, he's not been in trouble before this or since this.
And we went over the PSI together, right? And you saw
Yes, sir.
how serious the offense was, right?
Yes, and I would not. I mean, it's hard for me to say because obviously I want to do everything. I mean, I've got a private lawyer. I did everything I can to try to keep him out of jail, keep him out of prison because that's not where he belongs. But to be honest with you, I've read it and I understand what he did. And even as his father, I still can't say that I wouldn't have the same feelings or make the same statement.
The mood just shifted. The prosecution just dropped a bombshell that changes everything. It wasn't just a house. There were two 2-year-olds inside, and the house didn't just get hit. It was riddled with over 200 bullet holes. I didn't think it would be impactful. Excuse is falling apart fast. This is the moment where bad judgment starts looking like a miracle that no one died. How lucky do you have to be to fire that many rounds and not catch a life sentence?
But they made it in the PSI.
Well, I think it's good that you're honest about this situation and recognize the severity of the situation, but also understand that, hopefully, given the opportunity, Ethan can be successful.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all I have, Judge. And Judge, I had given these to Megan. These are just some of his withholding stuff and some of the state licensing stuff. That's all I have.
May I ask a question?
Of course.
All right. In regards to this incident,
Yes, ma'am.
was he living with you during this time?
Yes.
All right. And these people he was involved with, did you know them beforehand?
No. If I could clarify a little bit.
Sure.
So, military, firefighter, paramedic, and then I went into oil field patrolling.
Mhm.
But prior to COVID, and actually up past COVID, I worked overseas, Venezuela, Africa, Mozambique. So I was gone quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So he predominantly stayed with me when I was in country, which was for 3 weeks at a time, every other month. But the rest of the time he stayed with his mother on that side of town.
Okay.
So yes, he had those friends and everything happened on the west side of town, southwest side of town. I live on going towards Florida off of 181. Since this incident, I've been home 100% of the time. I work in West Texas now.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, he lives with me 100% of the time now. So I'm not saying it's an excuse because it's definitely not an excuse. I was absent a lot with him growing up because I was overseas. But it's not an excuse because I was still there every other month and spent a lot of quality time with him. It might not have been quantity, but it was quality time for him to know that this was not what he should have done. But yes, now I'm with him 100%, or rather, he's with me 100% of the time.
All right. And did he talk to you about this incident
Yes.
immediately thereafter?
No, it took some prodding, even more so because he felt when he did break down, you could tell that he was more ashamed of the fact that he did something that he let me down. I not necessarily overbearing, but the military and then firefighter, paramedic, and I've kind of a little bit structured a little bit when I was with my kids, both my kids. And so when he did break down and let me know about everything that happened, obviously I told him we need to do something about it. And in 2023, when we thought it was going to all be resolved in December, January with Michael, we said, okay, let's get back on track. And we spent the time and paid the money for him to get his commission with the state and, following work because his mother's commissioned as well. And said that, what you want to do, that's fine. But we need to figure out the job. We need to figure out a career. And so we've been talking about the CDO and him getting with me in the oil field and trying to get away from him. And he has not been with those friends, or well, obviously because they're locked up, but he's not been involved with anybody on that side of town since.
All right. Thank you. Any other questions?
No, Judge.
And I know you're silent, but any questions about?
I I know you stated that you understand. So did you view the police reports in this case or?
Not since the incident, yes,
Okay,
but not obviously when he was arrested.
okay. So I mean, you understand that your son made an agreement with these individuals. So these individuals told him, hey, this is what we're gonna go do, and your son agreed to go with them. You understand that, correct?
Yes,
And your son did fire his firearm into that house,
yes, he did.
and it was occupied by multiple people. There were two 2-year-olds inside that home.
Yeah, and I told him, despite the fact that they didn't believe anybody was there, you still fired.
Yes. And I mean, besides the two 2-year-olds that were there, there were other adult individuals in the home as well. You understand that?
Yes,
Okay. And one of the victims describes that there were over 200 bullet holes inside the home. You understand that?
yes,
Okay. And your son was aware of this and agreed to engage in this type of conduct back in 2022.
from what I understand, I know from my son's recollection, is that he didn't think it was gonna be all what it ended up becoming. Yeah, yes, he knew what they were gonna go do, but he didn't believe it was gonna be as impactful as it was.
So I guess, to my understanding, he just didn't believe that the home was occupied, but he understood that he was.
Yeah, but he didn't understand that they were gonna do as much damage as they ended up doing.
Okay, but he still engaged.
Yes.
Shooting the firearm.
Yes.
You pass the witness.
Are there any other questions?
All right. Thank you so much. And thank you for giving me some insights into your son.
Thank you.
So,
Any other witnesses?
Listen closely to this judge. She is introducing a concept you don't hear often, the cost of doing business. She's basically telling the victims, who were likely involved in gangs or drugs themselves, that if you live that life, getting your house shot up is part of the job. She's refusing to grant them restitution because of their dirty hands. But she's not letting Ethan off either. She's about to decide if he gets a second chance at a CDL license or a one-way ticket to prison.
yes, Judge, I do want to call Axel. I have some issues, I think, as far as if the state's going to be silent. I think cross-examining the witnesses in the manner in which Megan is doing, I think kind of exceeds the scope of the silent.
All right. Well, the court will note that according to the plea bargain agreement, the state is silent, but they are able to address fact issues.
Well, I understand addressing fact issues, but my understanding, Judge, is addressing fact issues as part of argument if I misstate anything, and I have no objection to that.
Okay. All right. The court will note your any objections you have with regards to this witness.
Thank you. And Judge, so I'd like to call Ethan Rosales.
Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
All right. You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Ethan Rosales.
All right. Defense, you may proceed.
So Ethan, you and I reviewed the PSI, right?
Yes, sir.
And I guess over the course of my representation, we've discussed the incident in question, right?
Yes, sir.
Repeatedly. And we discussed the boys you were with that night, and obviously the path they went on in their life, right?
Yes, sir.
And they're either, I guess, going to end up in prison for life or on death row, depending on whatever election the state has made. And so that kind of tells you the people you were hanging out with, right?
Yes, sir.
And I know you expressed regret about what happened to the people at when you met with the probation officer. But I guess when we looked over the PSI and you saw who was in that house, right?
Yes, sir.
You understand, I mean, how lucky you weren't here on murder or capital murder charges, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's talk about your life since the incident. Okay. So I know your dad said after Mr. Belleville got the first charge dismissed, you went out and got your security license, right?
Yes, sir.
And level 3 is the highest level, correct?
There's actually a level 4, but
Okay.
that's private security.
Okay. So you took all these tests, you passed background checks, you got a job, you seem to have your life back on track, right?
Yes, sir.
And then, of course, this new case came out. So obviously, the judge has a decision to make about what happens with your life, right? So if you're given the opportunity at probation, you heard your dad talk about the opportunities you have. Do you think you'll be able to take advantage of those opportunities?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to tell the judge about what happened that night, or anything you want to say to the people involved?
Yeah, I just want to say I'm sorry. I didn't know who was in there. That doesn't change the fact of my decision that I made that night, but it stopped me a lot from job opportunities and moving forward in life to make more money and just be successful.
Okay, but the reason it stopped you is because of the decision you made, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I guess if given the opportunity, do you think you'll be able to comply with any orders or conditions the judge imposes?
100%.
Okay. All right. I have nothing further.
All right. Any objections to the court asking?
No, not at all.
Walk me through this. Friends come to you. Were they your friends?
If I thought they were,
All right. So how did you meet them? How did you all become friends?
just growing up in the school, playing basketball at the park, stuff like that.
All right. Were these your only friends?
I have more friends.
All right. So explain to me how this happened. You have some friends who come to you. So they come to you, and what do they say?
About that night,
Yes.
I ended up going to their house and they let me know.
All right. So you go to their house. Did they call to you and say, hey, come over, let's have, let's meet? Or how did it come to be that you ended up at their home?
I was just getting off of work. I ended up stopping by their house. They let me know.
All right. So you stop by their house. I like to do things step by step. So you stop by their house. What do you do when you get there? Are you all playing
Video games. Yes.
playing video games? And so you're playing video games, and tell me how the conversation goes.
I guess they had information of somebody who was in that house, basically, and it was down the street. So we just caught up.
Well, no. Because I'm trying to figure things out, and I'm trying to figure out what your mindset is. I think your attorney and other people, if somebody comes to them and say, hey, we're playing video games, but come with me. We're going to go shoot up this house. Here's your gun. Let's go shoot up this house. I'm trying to figure out what your mindset was in all of that. So you're playing video games. Were you drinking?
Man.
All right. So you're not drinking. You're sober. Were they drinking?
No.
So they're not drinking. They're sober. So how does the conversation go?
It was more of a retaliation thing.
No. I mean, like, what's the conversation? You're playing video games. Maybe somebody's, talking trash about, you can't win. I beat you. Then what's the next conversation? Hey, there's a person down the street. We don't like that person. We're going to go shoot up their house. We want you to come with us. I'm trying to figure out how the conversation went from you're playing video games. Maybe y'all are trash talking to each other about, I'm beating you. You can't win. I trash talk during Mortal Kombat. So you're playing the video game. How does the conversation go? Who says, and if you don't want to name names, you don't have to name the specific names, but, who brings up the conversation and says, hey, we have some guns. We're going to go shoot up this house down the street. How does that conversation happen?
So I was at work. I got there. We were playing games. They let me know that they had information from.
Who's they? So what she's at, what she's trying to get is specific of the conversation.
Names.
Yeah, who brought it up?
I would say Chris.
All right. So a conversation starts with Chris. Chris says, what?
He had information from somebody else. I didn't ask who. Of whereabouts of somebody that he wanted to retaliate on.
All right. So did he tell you why there was this want or need to retaliate against someone?
Yes, they had shot him previously. Don't know the timeline.
So he tells you, hey, look, somebody shot at me previously, and I've just received information that this person is at this house down the street. Is that how it went?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so he tells you that. Then what's the next thing that's said?
I was the only one with the car. They basically asked me if we would go. It was more of an impulsive decision.
No, let's not do basically, because I'm trying to figure out what your mindset is, because I have to make a decision on whether or not to grant your application. So he tells you, I have information on the person who shot me. The person who shot me is at this location. All right. Thank you for imparting that information to me, Chris. So where does the conversation go from there?
They asked me if we would go. It was 4 of us.
All right. So they're saying, hey, let's go down the street. Now, when they say, let's go down the street, I'm sure it's not, let's go down the street. What was said?
They said that we were going to go shoot up the house, that we were going to retaliate.
All right. And so did you bring a gun to that location?
No. I got off work.
All right. So you got off work. You don't have a weapon. And they're saying, hey, let's go down the street and shoot up the house.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So where does the gun part come in for you?
I mean, they just had guns there, so took one with me.
Well, did they say, hey, you take a gun? Or did you just say, all right, let's do this, and you grab a gun on your own?
Yes, ma'am, I grabbed it.
So you grab a gun, they grab their guns. And at no point in this do you say, you know who shot at you previously, let's call the police and let the police know that this person is down the street. Nobody says that.
No.
All right. So you get a gun that's been provided and you all get in the vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you driving?
Yes, ma'am.
So what happens next?
We drove about 2 blocks down the street, and that's where the house was.
Okay. So the house is 2 blocks down the street. And what are you thinking as you're driving to this location?
It was more of an adrenaline rush, I would say so.
And how old were you?
19.
All right. So you're 19, you're getting an adrenaline rush and you drive to the house. And how far was that house from where you were playing video games?
I'd say about 3 minutes, maybe.
And nobody thought, so you guys were not going to walk, you're going to drive the 3 minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you're in the vehicle, you all pull upside the house. Then what happens?
We all got out, shot the house.
You call out?
We all got out and shot the house.
Okay. All right. And then after you shoot the house, what do you do?
We go back to their house.
So you get back in the vehicle and you drive back to the home.
Yes, ma'am.
And does anybody say anything?
No, ma'am. It just went back to, I guess, and games went back to normal.
All right. So then you go back to playing video games. And at some point, did you leave that house to go home?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you talk to anybody?
No, ma'am. I was pulled over. I can't remember the timeline, maybe an hour, 2 hours after. But yes, there was police in the area. I got pulled over.
All right. Any further questions?
No, Judge.
I just have one factual relates to smoke bombs. So I guess when you were pulled over, you didn't immediately stop, wasn't that correct? Okay, you ended up in a crash, right? And you're saying that that firearm did not belong to you, you got it from the other people that you're hanging out with?
Yes, ma'am, but I did take it with me.
Okay, and it was located in your car, right? And then you told police on that day that you threw it out because you didn't want to get caught with it. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Defense.
I think it's just argument, Judge.
All right. The court will hear argument.
So, Judge, obviously this is a really severe fact pattern. The one thing I would note is I don't think up until this incident, Ethan had any criminal history, and I think since then he's turned his life around. Obviously, I think Megan can make the court aware of the other, at least two of the other boys involved are in jail on capital murder charges. And obviously he was definitely running with the wrong group of boys that night. That being said, obviously he made the decision. He accepts his responsibility for it. He understands what he did and how lucky he is that nobody's dead. What I'd ask the court to consider is since 2022, he's turned his life around. He had and lost a good job, and that's his fault because of the situation he put himself in. But I do think the court can look and see that over 3 years since this incident, he stayed out of trouble. He's, I think, on a good trajectory in life and has a lot of opportunities in front of him. I'd ask the court to consider, and obviously there's a bunch of different possibilities the court can consider. Obviously, the most important thing as far as I see is the court grant either, regular probation or deferred. Obviously, deferred would be a great opportunity for him moving forward as far as employment. But what I'd ask the court to just consider some form of supervision, just to recognize that in spite of this horrible situation that he got involved in, he's really shown himself to be a different person than he was when he was 19 years old. And I think he's got a good path in front of him. I'd ask the court to grant his application for either deferred or regular with whatever conditions the court feels are appropriate. And I think he'll be able to do it successfully. I don't think the court will see him again.
All right. This is a difficult case. And let me just tell you why it's a difficult case. It's a difficult case in that when you have children, people always say when you punish a child or give punishment to a child, it needs to be done immediately because otherwise they've done other things that shows that they've internalized what they've done wrong and they've made changes. So it's regretful that this case wasn't done sooner. And that's no fault through the prosecutors. And in this court, sometimes cases are not indicted. But here's my issue. When people get together in these groups and they decide to commit crimes together, sometimes if one person would have said, no, I'm not doing that. For example, it sounds to me like people were lazy. They didn't want to walk the 3 minutes. Probably if you would have said, yeah, I'm not going to drive. I'm not a part of this. Who knows? Maybe they wouldn't have done that day. I'm looking at the complainants too. Sometimes, well, I'm just going to say it. Some things are the cost of doing business, right? If you sell drugs, you're probably going to go to prison. You may end up getting killed. Cost of doing business. If you're a gang member, you may end up getting shot and die. Cost of doing business. If you shoot up someone's home and they come back and shoot up your home, cost of doing business. That probably will happen. But we can't have people running around lawlessly. And that's my issue. So the young children in that house, they were not a part of the cost of doing business. And I see that there's some issue for restitution. And honestly, I don't want to give restitution to somebody who shoots at somebody else, and then somebody comes to their home to shoot up their home, and now you want restitution. That's sort of like the cost of doing business. I'll hear restitution amounts, but it's really the cost of doing business. And I don't think they should benefit from, as we learned in law school, they have dirty hands. So they should not be benefiting with restitution. So the state is offering a cap of 7 years. I just don't think this is a case that's appropriate for probation. Counsel, I'll consider, I'll retain jurisdiction.
Okay.
So
Can I speak to the cap?
yes.
Well, I appreciate the court retaining jurisdiction. So Judge, I'd ask the court to take into consideration that it's been 3 years since this incident, that he's not gotten any more trouble. He's maintained employment. And obviously, if he does well and the court grants him shock, then I think he'll still have a good future in front of him. I'd ask the court to assess sentence of 3 years TDC while retaining jurisdiction.
All right, so the state was silent on his applications, but I don't think they were silent on the cap.
I think that covers, I think silent is silent. I think it's entirely up to the court. I don't think if the state wanted to make argument, then they could have opposed.
All right, well, I will tell you this. According to the plea bargain agreement, it says the state will make no recommendations to the application for deferred or community supervision. But state, if you have nothing to say with regards to the cap, the court will make its own decision based upon the stipulations, the PSI report, and defense's argument.
I guess I don't want to say it's implied in the plea bargain, but that's what I would be asking.
All right, so this is what the court is going to do. There's going to be a $1,500 fine. Time and money run concurrent. The court will sentence you to 4 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served with regards to the restitution. And I'm serious about with regards to the restitution. You really need to come to court with the clean hands. You can't be a part of this life and then want restitution. But state, was there any restitution?
Judge, they did give an amount to riot officer, the homeowner. And that was $15,740.65. But it says that the out of pocket actual expenses were $6,980.
All right. So here's the question for the court. Were there any receipts provided to defense counsel?
No, Judge. And I guess if we get to a hearing on the motion to shock, I guess we can have a restitution hearing at that time. I mean, it sounds to me like they just provided an amount to
Well, here's
probation.
my question. Were there any receipts?
To my knowledge, no, and there were none attached to the PSN.
All right. So the court doesn't have any receipts before it with regards to restitution.
So, Judge, I guess barring that, I mean, I don't think the court can impose restitution based upon estimates or just generic statements from the complainants.
So at this point in time, the court does not have any concrete evidence, not even preponderance of the evidence. The court doesn't even have a preponderance of the evidence for restitution. So at this time, the court is going to say there's $0 for restitution. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, Judge.
All right. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
All right. Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, off the record. Here's the thing. If you strongly want the court to consider perhaps giving you shock probation, you had better show me something that you are doing while you are in custody at the prison. Do you understand?
Okay.
All right, good luck to you.
If there's any victim impact statement, you think?
Is there a victim impact?
Nope.
Punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 10 silent, and the state is remaining silent on your application. Of course, they reserve the right to speak to factual issues. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
No.
Defense?
No objection.
And the court has read the documents that were submitted by the defense without objection. And those were letters from family members and people who know Mr. Trevino. And also the court has reviewed the documentations from Texas A&M University. And counsel, would you like the letters back or no?
Yes.
Yes.
And Your Honor, in the PSI report, it indicates that the victim's mother had not called back. The victim's mother did send a victim impact statement earlier this week. I wanted to make sure the court was in possession of that addition.
And the court does have that by email. Any objection to the court reviewing that, defense?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Just give me one moment. Court has reviewed that. Any other objections to the PSI report state? Defense, any objections to the PSI report?
No objections to the PSI report.
All right. Any witnesses by either party?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Defense, you may call your witness.
Thank you. I'd first like to call Pastor George Ramirez.
All right.
Jimmy, the center here to be.
Pastor George Ramirez. All right. Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. You can lower your hand. State your name for the record.
George M. Ramirez Jr.
All right. Defense.
Thank you. Can you please introduce yourself to the court and explain to the judge where you work?
Yes. So my name is George M. Ramirez Jr. I am a community pastor for a ministry called Immersion Outfitters on 1604 Braun Road. And I serve as the leader for that ministry, overseeing men and women's Bible studies and teachings. And that's how I met Alejandro.
Okay. And please explain to the court how you met Alejandro.
Sure. So one of the ladies who comes to our women's study was a former coworker of his and had reached out and asked for prayer for Alejandro. And I made contact with him. And for the last year, I've been meeting with him weekly, once a week, to counsel.
And sir, can you please explain to the judge what it is that you and Alejandro have been doing together for the past year?
Absolutely. So again, in our meetings, my counseling is biblical counseling with him. Looking at the choice that he made and looking at how to use the tools that God has given him to be able to address those things, being very open in our conversation. Again, using the Bible as our guidance to counsel him.
And so you are aware of the charges of why he's before the court today?
I am, yes.
In the times that you've worked with him, has he ever denied what he did that day?
No.
Those days?
From the very beginning, he's been very honest about his poor choice. And it has made it even a point in every one of our meetings to not only pray for his situation, but for the victim as well and her family.
And so in working with him, has he expressed remorse for his actions at that time?
Very, very remorseful, repentant heart as well for that choice. Yes.
And together, have you guys been working towards ways to prevent anything like this from ever happening again?
We have. We've looked at also, the tools that has and in looking at, accountability, not only just on our one-on-one meetings, but even through some of the technology as well.
And are you, would you describe yourself as a person who's holding him accountable?
I would, yes.
Okay. And how so?
Well, number one, and it's something that I wanted to make note of, is I was a victim of this exact thing, which was very difficult to overcome. And again, knowing that God has healed me and he can do that. And even to give me a heart to be able to reach out to someone who has caused pain to another person and help them. So.
And have you seen in the past year positive changes with Alejandro?
Very positive. He's opened up. He has shared a lot about what he has gone through. And again, regardless of the outcome of today, that he would continue on this path.
And do you feel that he would be an excellent candidate for supervision and working in the community?
I do. I think Alejandro would best suit the community to be part of it and be productive. But I do understand it. And
if the judge does grant that, will you continue working with Alejandro to hold him accountable for his actions?
Absolutely. Number one, Alejandro is accountable himself, but as a support to him, I definitely would be there to have him, and our men's group would love to have him weekly.
And when you met with him, did you meet with him just online through counseling or also in the home?
No, we met personally. Majority of our meetings were in the home, although we did use Zoom and did do phone calls while I traveled to Africa as well. We have a ministry there. So when I was there, we did still continue to meet on Zoom.
And so you've met his parents.
I have, yes.
And does he help in the care of his parents?
He's a very vital role in the care of his father and his mother in the home. And so, again, I think it would be best with supervision and that he would be able to be productive and help the family and all.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pass the witness.
State.
Just briefly, what is the demographics of your church?
Yes.
All right, excuse me, everyone, make sure you whisper.
No. So again, we are primarily a men's ministry. We have about 200 members, but we also have a women's group that my wife leads. She's a pastor as well. And then we have a larger group in Africa, which is about 400 members in Liberia, West Africa.
Are there children that attend your church?
They are. We have youth groups, and myself and my wife, we do teach youth Bible studies as well.
Is there a teen program? A young teen church program?
Well, we designate it as youth, so that would be anywhere from 5th grade through high school.
And are there services where the groups are intermingled, like a congregation?
Co-ed, or yes. So we do have co-ed. Again, we have leadership that helps and assists with co-ed Bible studies, and that's primarily what we do. We don't have them segregated; they are together.
Okay. No further questions.
All right, anything else?
Nothing further.
All right, you may call your next witness.
I call Alejandro Trevino.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you may lower your hand. State your name for the record.
Alejandro Hernandez Trevino.
All right, defense.
Thank you. Alejandro, who are your parents?
Ruben and Patricia Trevino.
And are they here today in court with you?
Yes, ma'am.
And have they come to all of the court settings with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Please give the judge a little bit of information about your parents.
Yes, they're wonderful. My dad, has been a hard worker his whole life. Has had major bodily injury due to his work. He's had back surgery, 2 knee surgeries. He's in to get a new back surgery, hopefully a knee replacement. My mom has battled cancer, which was really hard. And she beat it, but it's every day. You just think, and they're the best things in this world, and it hurts, that I hurt them, but I'm hopefully will continue to help them regardless of the time frame. But
So let me ask you this, sir. Do you currently live with them?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you help care for them?
Yes, ma'am.
Has your father had physical falls where you've actually had to help pick them up and take them to a safe place?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you've graduated high school. What other degrees have you received?
I have an associate's in engineering from Blinn College and a bachelor's degree in engineering from A&M University.
Up until your arrest, were you working?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you lost that job when you were arrested, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You've been on bond conditions this entire time?
Yes.
Do you remember when you went on the monitor, what the date was?
I think around May 16th,
Okay.
I believe.
And was that full house arrest or partial house arrest?
Full house arrest.
And to your knowledge, have there been any violations reported to the court while you've been on bond?
No, ma'am.
Now, before we came up here today, did you review with me the PSI and TAP report?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you agree with everything that was written in there?
Yes, ma'am.
If the judge is to give you and grant your application for deferred adjudication, Are you willing to follow any and all conditions of the supervision?
Any and everything.
You understand that with the offense, no matter if the judge grants your application or if you're sent to prison, you will be having to comply with Chapter 62 for the rest of your life.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you done your own research to understand what that's going to entail?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, specifically, after we reviewed the TAP evaluation and the PSI report, did I hand you the second document, the email from the victim's mother?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you review that letter?
Yes.
Were you aware of the mental health issues with the victim prior to your relationship with her?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did reading that open your eyes?
Yes.
Okay. How so?
You don't think what your actions mean until you see it. And that hurts more than all of this. I being responsible for those feelings and that hurts because I don't want to be responsible for someone being in pain. That hurts more than anything, and I am deeply sorry. And I just hope that God helps everyone, and
Now, when you say you don't want to be responsible, you understand you are responsible.
yes, ma'am.
You're not denying anything.
No, ma'am.
And if the judge grants you your supervision, or even if the judge does send you to prison, will you continue spending the rest of your life making up and feeling sorry for what you did?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll pass the witness.
Your Honor, I have no questions for that.
All right. And you were aware that the complainant was underage, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there any other questions?
There's no other questions and there's no other witnesses, just arguments.
All right, the court will hear argument, and I appreciate your honesty.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. My client, the reason we submitted the documents to you is I've gone through all of the evidence with my client. So he is well aware of what was submitted in the plea agreement and the stipulations, as well as anything that was and everything that was conducted during the investigation. He has, Brittany.
Oh, sorry.
He has no questions or no disputes about anything that was presented. Even with me in our conversations, he was always very honest about his actions. Yes, he did know how old she was. However, to him, in his mind, even though she was younger, this was a relationship, and he believed that. And then I believe it's even in either the prosecution guide or the later statement, is the two of them had discussed everything, recognized that it was wrong, and then that's when everything ended. He was later arrested. He was always honest about everything. He is simply asking for the court's mercy in allowing him to go on to deferred adjudication. No matter what happens, he is always going to regret his decisions at that time. However, by granting his application, he'll be able to stay home. He'll be able to continue caring for his family. He'll be able to continue making amends there and receiving the treatment while he is on the supervision. And so that is what he is asking for. And he understands that that is asking a lot. He understands and recognizes the pain that he's put on everybody else, not just the victim, but also the victim's mother and her family. And he only hopes to be able to show you that he will be able to complete the supervision in a timely and orderly fashion and never come back in front of this court ever again.
Right. Any closing?
Your Honor, we're silent. Your Honor, so I'll maintain my silence.
So, Mr. Trevino, I do appreciate the fact that you've done a lot of things to change yourself and work on yourself. The issue with this case and what sticks out in my mind, this is not an issue where you did not know she was underage. If this were an issue where you knew that or thought that she was of age, maybe I would be doing something differently. So I'm going to find you guilty. I'm going to require Chapter 62 registration. There's to be no contact with the complainant. I'm going to give you credit for any time served. I'm going to sentence you to 5 years in the prison. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Okay? All right, we can go off the record. I've had plenty of people to appear before me charged with an offense like this. And I will tell you, you are the first person who has truly acknowledged what they did was wrong and are actually working on bettering themselves. Good luck to you.
Whatever you want to do when you have 2 open DWIs. And I told you there was absolutely no tolerance. And here you go. Just, I'm going to do whatever I want. Don't work like that, Mr. LaBomba. If you have things that you need to do, you need to ask for permission first. We don't know where you are. We don't know what you're doing. You just take off and do what you want to do. And it's been like this since the beginning. So I guess we have not gotten your attention enough.
I sent an email to my probation officer to ask.
You don't have a probation officer. You have bond conditions that you are supposed to live up to. Not.
I'm sorry. I didn't know.
You know well and good what you can and cannot do. You have 2 open DWIs. And I don't want you out at night. And you are still doing whatever you want to do.
I'm not.
Goes with you. No,
I'm not.
you are.
Your back.
Again? I'm not. I asked for permission. I'm sorry. I swear to
They
God,
don't
I'm not.
have authority to give you permission to do anything.
I didn't know.
Then you call your lawyer, you come up here, but you don't do things after the fact. You violate and then ask for
I asked for permission before I went to the meeting. I did. I swear to God, I did. And she didn't respond to me till after the meeting. And I told her if I had known,
You were talking to the wrong person, Mr. LaBomba.
Didn't know.
You knew that this was strict compliance with 2 open DWIs.
I'm sorry, Judge.
What's with you?
This one.
Mr. Butte, we'll talk. Don't go far. How do we reach the person who does whatever they want to do? You know, therein lies the question. You know, you got your first DWI. We told you, look, this is how you act. This is what you do. Going so much as to tell you that, you know, every day someone dies from a DWI in our great county. Every flipping day. Let you out. Just no, pick up another DWI. Now we have to micromanage your life, right? Because you scare me a lot more. All I'm asking you to do is I don't want you to consume alcohol. I don't want you to drive, and I don't want you to go out in the middle of the night. I give you these conditions for a reason, not for shites and giggles. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And now, so how do we go forward?
I can promise you I was not going to go to the meeting if I had gotten a response back before the meeting.
You've already promised me 2 times before.
This one, when I got the email back the day after I'd already gone, I told her if she had emailed me back before the meeting, I was not going to go. because I'm not playing around.
I mean,
with this.
but did you email the day before your meeting?
I did. Yeah, I did.
That is about as it just, these people are busy and you work and you're sending email to county employees. Do you really think someone is going to email you within a couple hours to the next day to respond to you? Do you really think that if you were to reach out to anyone here, they're going to respond to you in a timely fashion? You have to consider how many thousands upon thousands of emails people here get a day. Victoria, how many emails do you get a day?
At least 100. No joke.
You're emailing pretrial services where they have about 2,000 to 4,000 people that they manage. Well, I mean, probably two on a daily basis, where they're hundreds upon hundreds. So for you to think that they're actually respond to you, I don't believe you. I think that what you did was that, you know what, I'm going to send an email just so that I CYA and I'm going to go do what I want to do. That's basically what I think.
No, I don't. I'm not messing. I'm not playing with this. I am not playing around with this. I'm taking it very serious, sir. Very serious. I'm very.
Is no act and ask for forgiveness later. We don't subscribe by that theory. We don't. There's no acting like a little child begging for forgiveness later. Okay, Dad, I'm sorry. I won't. That's what my child does. My child will do stuff. Come on, bud, don't do it. Dad, I did it again. Oh, come on, I told you. When people do that to me, your sorry goes in this ear and it goes down out that ear, because I know you will continue to act the way you want to act. I don't know, Will. I'm just.
He showed me proof of the meeting. He's trying to get another job so he can work from home because he can't drive anymore. He was 48 minutes late. And in the email, I guess he thought he would get an email response within 24 hours or so. He emailed that morning. The meeting wasn't until late that night, the next day. So when I spoke with him,
I understand that it's not the most egregious error. I understand that. I get it. But a condition is a condition. And the problem is that if we let you go, what does that tell you?
I know how serious this is. I know. That's why I tried to contact.
The last thing that I want to do is be an enabler. The last thing I want to do is act in a way where it tells you that it's okay for you to do what you're doing without consequence. Because one of the biggest things that I like to teach here, because, in a way, I think of myself like a father to everyone. I like to teach, right? And I want everybody, no matter who they are, no matter what color they are, no matter what they're doing in their life, I want them to leave better. And I want to impart that you have to always think of consequence. Because 90% of the people that come here have no self-control and react without thinking of consequence. And it's a shame, because if you did, we would have such a harmonious life. I mean, we wouldn't have the death and destruction we have on our roads. We wouldn't have the killing that happens here on a daily basis. What does he have on his ankle now?
Yes,
You have a scram and a GPS monitor?
Yes, Judge. Like I said, Judge, I speak with him often. He has been taking this really seriously. He calls and asks questions all the time. He just didn't call me and ask me about this one. He thought someone else was taking care of that and just made a bad mistake.
Don't do it again. If you need help, I'm willing to help you, Mr. Lubumba. I routinely give people here more time if they need it. I really do. And all I want you to do is think. That's all I want. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong. We all make mistakes. We all do things that we regret. Crap, my mouth gets me into so much trouble you cannot even believe. I will continue your supervision. Just please don't. Okay? If you ever need anything else, just come back. Let us know. We can help you. If you need more time for work, or whatever, don't ask for forgiveness after the fact. Just come back here first. Contrary to popular belief, we're not that bad. Really. All we want is our public to be safe. And if I know that I can count on you to help me with my public, then I'm more inclined to go with you on what you need. All right? Please don't again.